To continue on our ghost tour to the ghost house where my mother and father first lived when they came to Carson City in the winter of 1945 after the war. So follow me. Oops, here comes a car. Oh, I guess I'll have to wait. Anyway, as the story goes, Mom and Dad came up and they rented here with a woman who lived in the house. And she was very odd, very, very crazy. I don't know if she was crazy or not, but she would, every night at midnight, start filling the bathtub, and then she would let it drain out, glug, 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 and then she would refill it up, and then she would let it out, and then she would do it like about 5 times. My dad was terrified of her. I don't know her name. I don't know who it was who lived there. But then she used to come walk the stairs with a candle at night, and she would never turn on the heat for my parents. So my sister Pam got terribly, terribly sick. Well, my dad hated her. I guess they fought a lot. I don't know. But every time we'd come down Mountain Street going anywhere, because this is like a main drag in the city, my mother always pointed out the house. She says, that's the house with the crazy woman where we lived and the crazy woman. So you had to come around. It's around the corner. "700 Telegraph." The house on Telegraph Street. This was the house where my sister, in that winter, my sister Pam, got extremely sick, and she got double ear infection and 105 fever and had to be rushed to the hospital. And my mom called down to our doctor in Oakland, because that's where they came up from, and they got Dr. Starr up here. She was in the hospital in Reno for a long time. Mom said the nurses loved her because she was in a tent, and the nurses would come, and she would take their handkerchiefs, because that's what the nurses all wore in those days. She would take them out, and she would work it like a little cloth, and she would turn them all inside out, and then she would rub it like a cat with catnip all over her face and all over her nose. But they just loved her. She was only 1.5 years. But it was because the woman wouldn't turn on the heat. It was in the dead of winter. They came up in a Model T, and they were living at the house with this woman. And as I said, Dad was scared. Mom was much braver, but Dad was really terrified of her. Don't know what happened to the woman, but my mom always said they weren't here very long, and then they moved on to where our other house is, our home that I grew up in. But if you take the whole view of down here, I have photographs from then, from 1945, of the house, this part of the house, and it's almost virtually the same, except it was white back then. And I have pictures of my sister Barbara on the lawn with my dad and Mom at Easter. So they were here from December through probably May or June, and then they moved up to our house. So I don't know, I always ask. I saw somebody come out. I wonder if I should say hi. Let me see. This is one of the horse heads that I was talking about, the hitching posts that are on several places on all the streets around here from the 1800s. This house, I found out, belonged to Governor Colcourt and was built in like 1867. So that was a little bit of information I never did know. And there's a twin house behind it. So it's a really beautiful place, and it's on the registry for historic places in Carson City.